Okay, so the reason I'm making this recording is because I just had a memory pop into my head. I don't know how you get these memories, but this one is when I was in high school, and I don't know, I was just some annoying kid in high school, I guess. But I had come across, big pens. Do you remember big pens? Well, the big pen, if you took out the little cap at the end, uh, you could put the pen in your mouth like this and you'd blow in it. And there was a little hole in there uh, in the side, and it would whistle a little bit if you blew air through the pen. But sometimes it didn't have a hole, and the hole was actually in the cap itself. And that little cap, that reminds me, do you ever grab a little pen like that and take the cap off, and you're just sitting there in classroom and you're just sucking on it, just pulling on it, and all of a sudden it just pulls the ink up and the ink goes into your mouth. I don't know if that ever happened to you. I know it happened to me once. I certainly saw it happen to a few other kids in the classroom. Anyways, so you have that little cap, and I discovered that if you put it in your mouth, and you could hold it, and then, it's quite small. You remember, it's just a little tip on the big thing, and if you put it in your mouth, it ends up being quite invisible, and I could blow through it just like that, and it would make this little whistle sound. Just at the top of your you could barely hear it, but it was there, But for anybody looking at me would not know that I was doing anything. I'd be there, just sitting like this, but this little thing in there. And so the teacher, meanwhile, and this is in a classroom, right, in high school. So the teacher, he's given his lesson. Anytime he opened his mouth and he said something, I would whistle. I'd blow some air through the thing. So every sentence he had coming out of his mouth, blah 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 blah. It'd be and eventually this starts entering his consciousness that there's some noise going on in the classroom, but he can't see anybody doing anything. And eventually he gives up and he says, all right, I says, is there anybody in the room here who's whistling with a little whistle, those big pens, or, and he says, I just want you to stop it, So, but he couldn't prove it. I'm pretty sure I stopped it then. I would wager I did, because I always listened to authority. I was never irritating as a child, and I always did good in classes. Anyways, it's just a stupid memory that pops into my head, and I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, have a good night. Take care.